I've just framed up the north wall there with the window, and I've put it up there, and I've been standing up there to see how high the glass is and if I'm liking everything, and if the eye line out to outside of the booth where I'm going to be working on my desk there is at a good height. Everything seems good. If I'm sitting down here, I can see out clearly. If I'm standing, I can see down. So we're all good there. I haven't actually attached this. I'll bring it back down on the floor there and then finish up the framing on the bottom just to make it really strong. And there it is, the finished wall. I framed up the top there and put a couple verticals in there and screwed it in there and screwed it in so it's rock solid. And I'm just going to pick up the glass set to will fit in there, the 36 by 36 inch, 1/4 inch tempered glass, 2 pieces, and I'm off to do that. There we are, guys, just finished framing up the ceiling roof, which will go right up there. So I do have to put drywall on top of this before I lift it up, and then I'm gonna slide it in, and I'll go up through the joist there to bolt it, or to screw it down from the top. Okay, I just wanted to show you the crazy installation that I'm working on here by myself. So this needs to go up top there, and there's like 1/4 inch of clearance on top of that drywall. So I've done like stages, so I'm trying to step it up, step it up, step it up, step it up. And this is just all stuff that I found around our yard. Used the green recycle bin there. Got the ladder happening. This is like a backdrop I made for photography a while ago, but it's got wheels on it. So I'm hopeful that I can slide it in underneath this table, and then I can get it up and wheel it in, something to that effect. There it is. I just moved it from level 1 to level 2. I had these table frames right here that I positioned here, and now it's to get it from there up to there. And I think this portable frame on the wheels is going to slide in there and do something like that. There it is, guys, the roof up on the top there, the ceiling. Anyway, that was by far the hardest thing I've had to do. I've just run out of 3-inch nails, so I'm gonna head over to Home Depot and then just secure up that, and I'm done on this for the day. One of the tricks I had to work with here is this ceiling slopes down, 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 down. And I measured it out, and I gave myself about 1/4 inch tolerance, but because of the joists are a little bit off, I had to go and chip out probably about 4 inches along, probably 3.5 inches, the size of a 2x4 along the top there so that it can fit. I didn't want this touching the ceiling, so it floats in here fine, and I'm not gonna lose any sound there because I'm gonna pack everything up below, and I've still got my 1 inch down to 1/2 inch there, so I'm all good. All right, my friends, the ceiling is secured with lots of screws. What I'm showing you now is that I went crazy with the caulking. Any little joist, any opening where air could creep in, I put lots of caulking on this beast. Now, next thing we're gonna do is packing blankets. I'm gonna put packing blankets in the walls, just put a layer of them, and then I'll put an insulation on top of that. Now, here's the cool thing with packing blankets. Generally, unless they're a moving company, you can get packing blankets really cheap, because what happens is people buy brand new packing blankets, they use them once to move, and then they need to get rid of them. So that's where you swoop in and get packing blankets. So I found these on Facebook, but Craigslist works fine for them too. And that's what the packing blanket in the joist is looking like right there. I've got an electric staple gun, and that is making it very easy to do. So I'm just basically laying it within the frames all the way down, and then I'll pick up the extra stuff and put it in down there. These roller cutters are great. No cutting, just rolling. Cuts through the stuff very easily. So I got a little ahead of myself. I just wanted to show you guys this. So I framed up this last wall here. This is the wall that's gonna be holding the door. So I did all this on the ground. I measured everything out for the frame of the door, put it in. Now I've cut all the binding off the door, and now I'm sliding that in to the joist, and then I'm gonna screw it to the joist there. And then I'm gonna see where I need to change anything or put a shim in or level something out. But so far so good. And this is a right-hand door, so it's gonna open out this way, come here, and we're putting the air ventilation that's pushing the air into the booth right in there. That's why those 2 cross members are there, because it'll fit on there. And I have the hole up around 6 1.2, I think the center of the hole is, blowing air in there. So the first part of today has been about filling in these panels with the sound blanket, the moving packing blanket, and then I've stuffed a whole bunch right in that corner right there, filled it right out. I have just started putting the insulation into the ceiling. Just gonna fill in all these holes in here, here, and here, and then I've cut that piece of drywall and that's gonna fit up on the ceiling. All right, so there it is. The ceiling is installed and I can't stress enough how much to go crazy with the caulking. I always caulk all the joints. I wanna make the whole thing airtight. If it's airtight, then sound can't leak in because sound travels on air. I just wanted to point out that I do not have to finish off the ceiling because I am putting foam up. Normally you would finish that off to a paint finish, but in this case I am installing foam on top of this drywall, so no one's gonna see the drywall up here, so I'll be all good. Okay, so what we're looking at here is the pipe that goes into the air draw box, so the air is going to pass through here and out. So I just needed a system. I put this expandable piping on here. This is gonna fit on the outside of the drywall, and then I've got a grill that goes over it like that. And that's what it looks like with the worm gear clamp installed around that onto the bracket. So I've got a straight pipe going into the box that draws the air. So it's all airtight, I'm good. The next part of the equation is getting power into the booth. So what I've got here is this Furman. It has a surge protection, RFI, EMI protection. It just gets clean power into the booth and therefore cleaner sound onto my recordings. I'm going to run it from this power outlet here around the back of the booth, behind the booth, and I'm gonna bring it in down here. I'm gonna put one up here that comes through and then one down through here into the booth, and then I'll mount the power strip in here somewhere and just plug everything into that. Let's make that happen. That's what it looks like with the insulation on. Run that through the wall. There's the 2 1/2-inch drywall that I ran it through and put a ton of caulking on there. And then I've put the hole on the other side so there's not a direct correlation between the holes. So it's offset down there, and I'm gonna put a ton of caulking on that, and that'll totally seal it all up. Power! I just went around and caulked all the seams, really crazy amounts of caulking. Everything in here I want to be very airtight, so I've just gone overboard on the caulking. The caulking's really cheap, so just gone crazy with the caulking. This is the air intake into the booth, and that's installed. So let me show you what's going on here. This is coming from the outside. Fan is pumping it in to the bottom of the booth. You can see it coming in there. Then it's going through a series of mazes of foam up into the hole there, and then it's gonna go in to the booth. And I've put a rubber gasket, probably about 1/4 inch, to keep isolated noise from this to here. And then, so this is the opening, the air's coming in here, and then into the booth here. And this is my support that I've run across here and here, and I've just drilled through into the box to hold it in place. So it's pretty rock solid. This is the board that will fit on top of there. I'll caulk it all and screw it in tight, so I've got an airtight box seal there. Also, I wanted to be able to remove this and then get in there and clean it out if I ever needed to, or if there was ever debris or anything, I could get in there and vacuum it all clean. I just want to show you guys where I'm at with the booth here. Basically at this point it's just all rinse and repeat. Putting up the double drywall on the outside, on the inside, putting the cushioning and then the insulation and then the drywall on the inside and caulking. There's not really too much difference going on right now. It's just a matter of doing it. Right now I'm just working on the clean air vent. I'm gonna run the pipe, the expendable pipe through here, out to the back here. I've put a hole in the drywall there. It's gonna come through there, and I'm gonna put a plastic plate around it, just like the one we did down there. So here's the shot of it with the worm drive right there, wrapped around the feeder pipe into the plastic, and then I'm just gonna push this against the wall and it's gonna fold into the wall. And you can see it right through there.